Hi guys, Reynold here. A couple of days ago, I recorded a video featuring Rosa and Rafale together in Arena, and it was very interesting. People wanted to see more. What I've been asked the most was to feature them with Fryevia and try to feature Rosa as a physical attacker instead of a healer and mage. So that's what we'll be doing today. I've already done the matches, and it has worked surprisingly well, so that was very fun. There's a couple different things I tried on and off, so let's go through that first. All the changes I've made throughout the video are going to be on Rosa. The other guys seem to work well, so there was no changes necessary on them. For Rosa, I've tried 3 different TMRs. First one was Halloween Rare Use to bring her back to life. Not that useful, typically she dies last, so she's not going to be able to change the match around by herself. Then I tried Summer Lilith's TMR, which was also very fun, but she would cast it several times and waste turns. So I ended up finally using Lucia's, who really seems to work better, and I'll talk about my reasoning as we go, but that's what we end with. Then in terms of abilities on-off, I will begin with the heals up for a Divine Prayer, but eventually I'll realize she really just does better if she's attacking, in this build at least, so we'll turn the healing off and we'll just go for pure attacker. You'll notice that she has full life now. I recorded class matches after that as well, and I 120'd her for the class matches, but when I did the fight, she still didn't have full life. If I had it though, I would leave it on, because it's just such an impactful ability that I think it's better than attacking, more often than not. So this is our team. First, Fryevia. We are building her to be a hybrid tank, so she has a good amount of defense and spirit initially. And if she uses her Spell Veil Blade, she increases her defense and spirit by 20, and then she actually becomes quite bulky. She only has 900 magic, but her damage is surprisingly high when she actually gets to hit. And then she's got really good resistances to magic, unfortunately not so much to the other types of damage. So unless it's wind or a magical attack, she's not as tanky as a Jeume or any other true tank. But against magic, she is the most bulky for sure. In terms of abilities on-off, I have turned off only Blizzard Blade because I really don't like that attack. And then in the White Mage subjob, the only ability that's on is Full Life. So for our Fryevia as well, I am not going for a tanky build where she heals and heals and heals back. She's going to heal twice in the fight. First when she uses Mashari's TMR, and then when she uses Full Life, and that's it. Then we have Rosa. I've already showed you her, but 1000 attack, 6700 HP. And then decent resistances to magic and wind, but not really to anything else. She does have a really good amount of spirit though at 38. And then finally, Rafale. She's probably the damage carry of this team, especially if Rosa enables her by decreasing the enemy's ice resistance first. Not a lot of HP, but a very decent amount of attack, very decent amount of luck, and then quite decent resistances as well. 20% to missile, 35% to magic, and good wind resistance again. So I've shown you the team. Let's go ahead and do some matches. Let's try fighting them. They have more meta tank and then 2 more meta iciness than we do, so that would be a very interesting matchup, hopefully. I just need to target the right enemy. So this is it. Now, my expectation walking in here is that if we lose, it's because there is no way for Fryevia to really tank the damage coming from enemy Aranea. So hopefully she doesn't just kill us in a single hit, but that could very well happen, and then that would be the cause for our defeat. If we are given time to recover, we have much better healing than they do, because, you know, some healing is better than none. But if their damage is outright too high, then that's where we'll have some trouble. So this is really what it'll come down to, I think. We do have a re-raise on Rosa, which could potentially be handy, and I also kind of hope that our Rafale will not go too far forward, because they have a bunch of guaranteed hits, so our evasion will not be as impactful as in some other matches. Attract Barrier will be pretty useful against Salire's attacks, but it is not a barrier against anybody else, so that could be a weakness. And then with our current setup, Rafale does not use any AP refresh, so we could see her just run out of AP before the end of the fight, which is also a way we could lose. So I guess we'll see. There's a bunch of tougher spots, but it really comes down to Aranea's damage more than anything. So Fryevia goes and uses Spell Veil Blade for a pretty serious amount of damage right here. That start, I think, was fantastic for us. Now though, Jeume's in range, but not in range of Rafale. Great, so we do take out Aranea before she hits us. We group for these attacks, but it's really not that bad. Now, Rosa slowly joining the fight. Meanwhile, Rafale just got healed back to full. She's fine. She can take a bunch more hits. That was not that impactful a hit, especially since it triggered some healing on Fryevia. and unfortunately we don't have the range to use a Dispel ability. So they keep the hate, we're gonna have to focus them down, but these two remaining enemies will not be able to do much against our Fryevia. I think the fact that Fryevia got the first hit off was really impactful. She had a pretty heavy hit on these enemies. So now we're in range with Rosa, we're able to heal back a little bit, and at that point, we'll have surprising damage from Fryevia again. 5600 on Jeume just takes her down. Takes a Kai Super Shot for a pretty severe amount of damage, but I don't think Salire can do much to turn this around. It would have been fun to see Rosa attack a little bit since she's really spec'd for it, and I'm considering just turning off her heal here, because I feel like it's not as impactful as a bunch of attacks would have been. But let's see. So we're gonna hit, again, pretty significant amount of damage, increasing our spirit as well. She keeps the shell and a decent amount of HP, and eventually we'll get the Salire down when she stops using her barrier on every single hit. I'm really impressed with the amount of AP she has, because with all this, she still hasn't went down in AP either. Now this one's also pretty interesting. With the amount of damage Oberon has, I'm quite afraid that Fryevia will just get killed. But if she somehow manages to tank their damage, we should be able to kill them just as fast. So that's going to be an interesting one. Again, Jeume could tank for a very long time, so we really need to dispel the hate on her. If that doesn't happen, I feel like the Earth guys will kill her team before we can take even Jeume down. We do have Ice Element attackers, which helps us take Jeume down a little bit, but we are physical oriented. She has a very high defense, so it could still end up being rough. So let's see what happens. Their tank starts moving forward. All of them have more agility than the guys on our team. So that's definitely a liability we could have. And then I tried putting the Summer Sharpshooter on Rosa, hoping that it's going to help her, but I don't know if she'll be in reach still, because she's a little bit too fast since she doesn't move. So moves forward, yes she is, alright. So she is able to just snipe from halfway across the map with this. And it was a decent amount of damage considering it's not her hardest hitting ability she just used there. It wasn't the ice resistance down, it was just the guaranteed hit one. So there we go, Dispel Spread will remove hate, so very good use of her ability right there, and hopefully Fryevia can reach, but just misses because she is very inaccurate. So unfortunately, Summer Sharpshooter means it can be used twice, so Rosa will use it before attacking on turn 2. That was something that turned me off a little bit from wanting to use the TMR, and maybe it would be better with Lucia's TMR instead, which has a single cast. But here, Rafale out of AP already, so very, very bad. And Rosa goes to heal. Yeah, if I want her to be an attacker, I think I definitely have to turn off the heals, because that was a wasted turn here. Chicken Blade takes Jeume out, so Fryevia going in for the damage as she should, takes another Spinal Blow, deals pretty well with it. Poison Sting takes 1 life away from this guy. He is poisoned now, so he'll die after his next turn even if we don't hit him, which will actually come in handy, surprisingly enough. Now, no more hate, so Rosa gets taken down in a single hit, then Poison kills him. Did he have an extra life? No, he did not, so it ends up being AP-less Rafale against Oberon. You guys can probably guess how this is gonna go, considering he has 155 AP and a guaranteed hit attack in Thunder Smite. But we take 1 hit, we're still alive. We can't kill him in a single hit with his barrier especially, so he's just gonna Thunder Smite again and win. Yeah, maybe without the heal, Rosa would have been better. Not the greatest match. So I was able to find the same player again, and what I've changed is I've changed Summer Lilith's TMR on Rosa for Lucia, which will give us 1 less range, but only have a single cast that lasts 3 turns. So hopefully that's going to be more handy because we won't waste another turn doing that. And then I've also turned off the healing. Let's see what happens if Rosa tries to go on a killing spree instead. One of our main liabilities in the last match was Rafale not using bells, but there's not much that I can do about that, because if I turn off her AoE buff and she uses this before bells, then, well, if I turn it off and she uses bells before that, then she will rush forward and she will be way ahead of our tank. So that is another type of issue that we'd have to face. So I think we'll perform better as it is right now. And we'll just have her have less AP. So here we go, this time without the range up 2, Rosa can't actually reach before Jeume puts on a barrier, so that could have an impact, and then they rush forward just like they did last time, so we're going to use the spell sprint on them both. Which is actually a pretty good thing to do, especially on Mr. What's his name? Zazan. So we miss one with the Hail Shower, and then miss with this attack again. A lack of accuracy really being very troublesome against Zazan. And then she puts hate up again, and we will not be able to dispel it this time. So that was actually a very bad outcome for us. Let's see what happens. Rafale out of AP, just goes for a basic attack, but Rosa should have the damage. Oh, chooses to cast Holy, even though she's in a fully physical build. I guess Holy had more damage than other options. So we hit a little bit on her, but really not that much damage. And then I think I saw Rafale dodge that incoming attack from Oberon. If she didn't, it'll likely kill her, but let's see. It was indeed a dodge, so at least we are also slightly favored by evasion. There we go, Fryevia heals everybody back up. We do take Jeume out right after, so they are tankless, but we again have a out of AP Rafale. So let's see what happens. 14 AP, goes for Zazan, poisons him, but I think Rosa's gonna finish him off. So 1 life down, poison will kill him afterwards. So that is really not bad, while Fryevia is still somehow tanking. Goes down to Zazan, but he also dies. So far, I think this variation without healing seems to be performing a lot better. I could see Oberon just wiping out everyone on our team, though. He will kill Rosa right here, except we get a reflex, so very fortunate for us. We have Poison Sting, great, he's poisoned, but he's got a ton of HP with some... Oh boy, Rosa hit him for 4,000 now that he no longer has any barriers. So that was actually pretty good, and then he rushed to Rafale, so he delivered himself for a finishing Esper Evocation. I guess we win thanks to this variation, which impresses me. They have 3 cost 100 units. But there we go. Now, I typically avoid fighting element where I have a strict element advantage because it can be quite obvious what's going to happen, but they do have Halloween Little Leela, basically the perfect setup, right, with the strongest wind units, in my opinion, and maxed out VCs for all of them. So I am quite curious to see how we'll do against them. What could happen that would make things go bad is if the enemy Luartha is able to kill Fryevia somehow. If that happens, then again, without a tank, we'll struggle. But I feel like because of the ice resistance and wind resistance we have on our units, we will still be fine. And then Halloween Little Leela, if she catches everyone in her AoE, will do significant damage. But outside of that, if she's hitting Fryevia by herself, Fryevia will basically not take any damage because of how tanky she is. So I guess we'll see. Jeume rushes forward as per usual. Maybe we'll dispel hate, maybe not. But I feel like we do kill Jeume quite fast, no matter what. So it hasn't been that much of an issue. And then Fryevia, as per usual, takes some hate, rushes forward, and we are out of range yet. Great. Now they're going to rush, hit Fryevia, great, for 269. She's a very magic-resistant unit, so I'm not surprised to see this happen. Jeume gets the physical barrier, and then Luartha is quite far away for now. Since none of us is walking down the right side, I feel like we'll have a chance to do something. Oh, this time Jeume uses her physical barrier, so she reduced her damage by quite a bit on the first hit. Then we're all in range for this attack. Okay, not that bad damage on our Rosa. So far, so good, but we miss her, and they don't have an evasion setup, so I'm very surprised that we would not have the accuracy to hit her. That's actually quite bad. Hopefully Rosa decides to go for Leela here. Nope, chooses to snipe enemy Luartha, and she does a decent amount of damage, but the enemy will have the chance to heal, maybe. They don't choose to do that, though, so I guess we're safe for now. Another Stormwind Rend, we lose 1. Okay, this is not a great setup for us at all. And then Rosa takes the Javelin, which she barely survives. Okay. I wonder what Fryevia is casting, but I think it's Full Life that she's casting right now. She will have time to cast it, I think, because Animal Pumpkin will not do great damage on us. And now that the enemy team has lost one of their damage dealers, I feel much more confident. Jeume is running out of AP. The Full Life is being cast. Now, we only have 50 faith, so it's a 73% chance of Full Lifing, which does work. Great. So they miss us. Yeah, at that point, we've got it in the bag. We'll do significant damage to Leela and finish her off. Again, we dispelled the hate on enemy Jeume, so we are able to just ignore her for a while. And Fryevia does hit Jeume for significant amounts of damage. 4,000 right here, followed by a nice Crystal Arrow, 4,000 more. And somehow we made it work, but just because Rosa barely survived Luartha's attack. So, this is it. Am I impressed by their performance? Yes, I am. Rosa as an attacker is not the best unit, right? She doesn't really have any AoE threats. She's not going to wipe out the entire enemy team like another unit would, like sort of Elena or Ibarra or etc. So why would you run her as an archer over other units? I'm not sure. Does it work though? Yes. So you can make teams work with that, and then your archer has the option of full lifing or proofing against status ailments or healing, depending on how you're set up. So I think she can work fine, especially if we have other people that can finish off the enemies after she's started the fight. She's really more of a first hitter than anything else. But this has been very fun. The more I'm playing Rafale, the more I'm enjoying her, and then I've been trying out this team in class matches as well, and frankly, it has worked marvelously well. The only difference is I'm not playing Fryevia in class matches, but Aranea instead, because Fryevia really doesn't do much if the enemies ignore hate, which manual players do. So this is it. Let me know your thoughts, and if there's any other tests you'd like me to do, I'll be happy to do them. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.